In the United States, there are a lot of places you can go when you have a workplace dispute. You can go to OSHA for a health and safety issue. You can go to the NLRB if you have a collective bargaining issue. You can go to the EEOC if you have an employment equality issue. Most of the issues, if you need to have them resolved on the individual level, you need to go through a private lawyer. Trade unions, typically, if they have a dispute with an employer, there's no real safety valve for those disputes, and they typically need to be resolved through a third party, which is paid for privately if a third party is required. But in Ireland, it's a little bit different. In 2015, Ireland introduced this body called the Workplace Relations Commission, which amalgamated a bunch of these services into one overarching workplace body. It provides information for individuals, but it also provides a conflict resolution service in the workplace at many different levels. It provides a mediation service for individuals prior to any kind of formal litigation. If there's a complaint for an employment rights issue, it provides an adjudication service, which attempts to resolve and decide employment rights issues at the lowest possible level, and is heard in a relatively informal setting with an adjudicator who has some legal training and who also has some practical experience in the arena of labor and employment. On the collective side, there are conciliation officers, which essentially act as a facilitative mediator for employment disputes on a collective level between trade unions and employers. And all of those different officers, their decisions and determinations can be appealed to the labor court, which is made up of one worker member, one employer member, and a chairperson who is typically appointed by the minister in charge of the Department of Enterprise and Employment. And I have to say, I've been practicing before the WRC as a trade union official and now as a barrister focusing on labor and employment issues. And while there are still a lot of teething issues, we've been in existence, or that the WRC has been in existence for about 7 years now. And there are some constitutional issues which we're still resolving about the balance between informality in proceedings versus natural justice principles. It does function relatively well, and it's certainly easier for lay litigants than if you were to try to go in a court with all of me and my colleagues in their robes and gowns and tabs and all of that. It's not uncommon for trade union officials or individuals to try and resolve their issues without representation in the WRC, and that is a relatively positive development in a lot of ways, especially where people can't get legal representation otherwise. If you're interested more about that function, the Workplace Relations Commission, or about the legal system in Ireland more generally, feel free to get in touch. I'd love to hear from ILREs all over the world. My email is pdm82@cornell.edu. Thanks.